We are talking about relations and functions today. A relation is a pairing of input values with output values, and this can be shown by an ordered pair or a mapping diagram or even on a graph. So a domain is the set of input values, and input values are all of the x values. That's a lot bigger than I need. And the range is the set of output values, and the output values are your y values. So for example 1, it says give the domain and range for the relation shown. So first class stamp rates, we have the year and we have the rate or the cost of those stamps. So when they give you a chart like this, the first thing is always your x and the second thing is always your y. So the domain is written like this, and it's just a list of numbers. It's only 1900, 1920, and 1940. So the range only includes those three numbers. And then for the range, we do the same thing, but for the y values. And those are 2, 2, and 4. We don't need to write the 2 twice, so it just needs to be there one time. A function is a relation in which the first coordinate is never repeated. So I have two examples here. One is a function. Our x's are 2, 3, 4, and 5. Our y's repeat over there. We have two different 3's. That's okay. We just can't have the input or the x value repeated. So over here on not a function side, this t-table has two negative 2's in the x column. And we can't have that, so that is not a function. So for example 2, it says determine whether each relation is a function. So this one's about shoe prices, the size of the shoe versus the price of the shoe. So size is first, those are our x's, and the price would be our y's. So we're just looking for to see if our x repeats, and we have 7, 8, and 9. So yes, this is a function. They do not repeat. This one gives us a mapping diagram, and if you look, that 3 has two arrows coming off of it, one going to the 6 and one going to the 7. That means that 3 repeats. So we can't have that. That is not a function. And then we have the vertical line test. And the vertical line test is if any vertical line passes through more than one point on the graph of the relation is not a function. So for this one, if I drew a vertical line here, I'm only going to pass through that graph right there. And I can try it over on this side, same thing's going to happen. It doesn't matter where I draw this vertical line, I'm only going to pass through one point on this graph. So yes, this is a function. If I move over here to this other one and I draw the vertical line, I'm going to pass through here and here. So that would fail the vertical line test. That is not a function. Example 3 says to use the vertical line test to determine whether each relation is a function. If not, identify 2 points a vertical line would pass through. So for this one, my vertical line here, it doesn't matter if I do it over here, I'm only going to pass through 1 point on that red line. So yes, this is a function. And then if I go down here and I look and I draw a vertical line for each one of these x values, those dots, there's only one on each one of those, that's okay. But here I have 2 going through that x value of 3. So this is not a function, and the same thing goes over here. If I chose to draw the line over here, I would have the same situation where 2 dots are going through. So it said, the direction said to identify 2 points a vertical line would pass through. So I can write the ordered pair of 3, 1 and 3, 4. It would go through both this point and this point, and it would fail the vertical line test.